Hi everyone, so I just made a little drawing of the situation that you just saw in the last video. So here we have the shed, which you see on the right side of the shot. The camera was mounted on a chair just behind the tree. The tree with the X is the one that I was felling. There were two trees in this location which was stopping me from being able to fell the tree in this direction. Right here, the dotted line, I have the ideal felling direction, which is what I hope to do, which obviously you can tell from the video I didn't do. Here is the actual felling direction. The X was the birdhouse that was mounted to the 4x4 post. This little squiggly line here is the pull line that Andrew had, and he ended up moving in this direction after the tree started to move, and ended up about here by the time the tree actually came to the ground. Back here there was a pile of lots of different things like plywood and other little trinkets that I didn't want to have to move, so the tree couldn't go in this direction, and there were also a lot of trees back here. So the key points and concerns when I was felling the tree is, one, it was dead as hell. There was no way I was going to climb it. It was just too tall, too skinny, and way too dead. Even if I was climbing out of another tree, it would have just been moving around like crazy and just breaking branches. It was about a 70 to 80 foot tall red pine. The majority of the canopy was actually over top of the shed. So in the video you can see that the trunk had a lean to it, and a lot of the weight actually was over the shed. So I was worried about obviously materials coming down on the shed, which is why I overcompensated by putting the hinge in this direction. There was a ton of poison ivy everywhere, which was just a pain and super annoying. And I was concerned obviously about potential hinge failure because of the side lean of the tree. Here I have the comparison of the hinge, and this is obviously not to scale, but the angle is very similar to what relative to how it would be in this photo here. So this is the actual hinge that I did, just a conventional face cut here on this side, and then my back cut I came along, and the tip of my bar was here. So I did have a bit of an angled hinge, which you can tell from the video. When the tree starts to move, it kind of goes straight a little bit and then a little bit to the left, which put it even more on the path towards the birdhouse. What I probably should have done was more of a thicker conventional hinge. It wasn't really necessary to have that much of an angled hinge. Number one, move everything that's in the way. If you have the chance to do this, obviously that's the most ideal situation. I got a little bit lazy with moving the post because it was pretty far in the ground. In hindsight, I probably should have moved it. Number two, a steering hinge has a lot more of an effect than you think. If you watch the video again, you can see that the tree kind of went straight a little bit and then a little bit left as it started to come down, which at the top makes a huge difference. Number three, you can also see in the video that Andrew has to go for a little bit of a run because he's very close as the tree's coming down. So attach another rope or use a redirect for the pull line so that he doesn't have to stand anywhere near the path of the falling tree. Number four, spend as much time as necessary setting up a move. So in hindsight, we definitely were a little bit rushed on this one. Yeah, I didn't think I needed to spend as much time as I did, but yeah, it would have been helpful. Number five, line up the face of your hinge with where you actually want the tree to go. I thought that because of the lean of the tree that I would have to kind of steer it more in the other direction. Andrew actually didn't pull on the rope at all. The tree fell completely on its own in that direction, so that side pull didn't even have an effect. And number six, speaks for itself. That would definitely help with things.